Trump is not my president. Well, if the little coward Satanists who are so scared shitless of me would allow me to actually speak, what I'd continue to say is that it doesn't matter what you think who isn't relevant to me. Okay? Trump will never be my president. I will always be the judge of your soul. Which do you think is more important? Nothing like waking up to a dumbass to put me in a little bit of a foul fucking mood. Although, really it's just like, oh, that kind of person. I have no inhibitions right now. If I saw you, I'd probably have your fucking skin on pikes tanning in the sun right now. You'd make some good shoes. And a leather purse. And maybe a dream catcher? No. That'd be a waste of a dream catcher. Wouldn't catch anything but shitty dreams. But man, nothing reminds me of just how fun it is to kill motherfuckers than a dumbass, useless Trump supporter. Yeah, exactly. What kind of dreams are you gonna catch with the fucking skin of a Trump supporter anyways? Catch a dream about fucking Coach the Reality? What were you gonna have a dream about fucking, like, Mrs. Cleaver's Brave New World? I got a better idea. How about we play Celebrity Apprentice, Satan's Little Bitch Edition? Okay, now, just in case anyone thinks my title is a little over the top, I wasn't referring to the desperate, powerful urge within me right now just to kill fucking traitors. No, that's not what I was talking about. There's a little thing called the law. I find it inspiring. What can I say? It says traitors should be killed. And I agree. In fact, there are few laws I agree quite so much with. But let's talk about why this is so important, shall we? You see, to think that traitors shouldn't be put to death is to fail to understand that this country is actually important. Okay? Just like to be one of these fucking idiot Civil War traitors, basically you're declaring war on America to me, and you immediately, to me, deserve to be dealt with as a wartime enemy. Okay? Period. I'm a fucking soldier. I've been a soldier for thousands of years. And you look like the butter to my hot knife. Okay? You're fucking rebels. Not just rebels to some random country. Rebels to humanity itself. But you don't even fucking understand that. So, you know, don't think your genetics are going to be missed. Humanity will be just fine without them. Oh, let's not forget all the Google employees who are guilty of treason. Don't worry, I won't forget about you, and neither is the FBI. That's funny, though. I go and just press the P button on my PlayStation, and the broadcast immediately disconnects. Money. Sometimes I wake up and I have Bleach songs stuck in my head. And I don't know Japanese, but I try to sing them anyways. Bleach, Kabuto, Nagasaki, Hiroshima. Yep. Now let's just point out the wisdom of that statement, Mr. Conway, because I see a lot of statements like that. And I'm sure you're not committing to that analysis. But let me just point out that Westerners are stupid. We're just so cute sometimes. Oh. It's just Antifa. You know what I mean? That's all it is. Of course they're going to turn against him now. He's caught. And I guarantee you the Republicans are going to start pointing out, oh, the Russians are against him now. Acting like that makes him loyal. They already tried it once. They already tried this shit right after the election. Oh, the trolls are all against him now. Bullshit. You know, all I gotta say is this. If you see 3 guys beating the shit out of your best friend, and you want to save his ass and beat the shit out of those 3 guys, who do you start with? I will await the answer. You see 3 guys beating the shit out of your friend. Exactly. You start with your friend. You go grab him and start screaming at him, and then as soon as they start fucking realize what's going on and start to question what's going on, that's when you fucking... If you go after the most dangerous looking one, the others will immediately recognize the threat to their unit. Okay? And then, furthermore, you risk them using your friend as a weapon against you. So your friend at this point is most likely disoriented, as most people are when they're getting the shit beat out of them, and could likely attack you. So the first thing you want to do is either go do a moving kick, a frontal flat-footed chest kick, knock the wind out of them, get them the fuck away from those people, or you go up and try to grab them and cause as much confusion as possible so you can take those fuckers off guard, having inserted yourself into the situation without unifying them, and then continuing to allow their, basically you wait till their attention seems to be undecided. But as for me, man, waking up, I got 2 ways I wake up. One is just ready to beat the shit out of someone, and the other is ready to go back to sleep. That's just like that's just one of the two. Yeah, right. I got you. I kind of see it. And I'm sure they thought you were doing them a favor by talking to your boy, but you were really doing him a favor. And yourself a favor, because, you know, there he is, there you are, then who's going to fucking bail both of your asses out? So anyways, I'm literally posting this video because nobody gets to have the fucking last word on my channel. That because it's my fucking channel. You don't come here, especially if you're an actual American. And I'm sure, I do not doubt their capability of funneling the occasional American here, based on some sort of pre-screening process. Oh, we'll just make sure they're a dumbass who doesn't do anything but fucking harass anyone's, and we'll let them see the fucking lost begotten. These fucking people here, man. I'm way too fond of making goofy faces in the camera. Oh, you gotta like look. I don't talk like this normally. I don't like when I'm speaking to people in person. I don't like get up in their face and go, "Arr." No, I'm pretty much just fucking normal. I'm just like any other person you might smoke pot with, only I'm allergic to bullshit. And that's why I was never stupid enough to support Trump. And that's what it all comes down to. Supporting Trump is literally a direct proportional quality to someone's level of stupidity. The more stupid you are, the more you support Trump. It's science. Now, on the contrary, you have the converse inverse proportionality that is the direct coefficient between intelligence and Trump opposition. So, as intelligence goes up, Trump support goes down. As stupidity goes down, Trump support goes down. As stupidity goes up, Trump support goes up. As stupidity goes up, Trump opposition. It's like science. Oh. I wanted to make sure I made it a multiple choice question just in case they thought they knew what I was saying. But I don't know about you, but I always thought Beavis was the smarter of the two out of Beavis and Butthead, you know? And like, that fine line is exactly where the bar is for Trump supporting. Beavis is just a little bit smarter than Butthead. Just a little tiny bit smarter. Beavis probably would have voted for Bernie Sanders. Butthead probably would have voted for Trump. Just because he thought he was cool. And for those of you who are not laughing hysterically at this point, because you actually get the reference that I'm making, hope cigarette dangles makes me hard. Kidnap me, throw me in the back of your car. The angle of the dangle is inversely proportional to the heat of the beat. Aha! You know? I think that's the third reference I had in this life to the scientific concept of inverse proportionality. I must have been the only stoner kid sitting there watching that. But the angle of the dangle is inversely proportional to the heat of the beat. Sean Way. I love that. I love the combined Sean Way name. we should make that the name of a company. Sean Way. It's Sean Way or the highway. Anyways. So, who actually got to finish the Johannite Genocide 2.0 or 3, whatever the fuck it is, 4.2? Who got to actually finish that video last night? Who made it to the point where I took the sip of wine and said, so, your son sent me to kill you. If there's been a live stream worth watching all the way through to the end, as long as that fucker is, that is the one right there. I'm pretty sure I backtracked and sidetracked as much as I could without, you know, detracting from the linearity of the story. But it made me happy just from my own researching perspective, you know, researching myself and my own fucking memories. Because of the fucking mysteries that it solves. Like when I was telling it yesterday, during the day before I turned on the channel, I was like, some of them things I was kind of fucking blown away by, because I just wound up in places like, oh yeah, that's how I got there. I remembered being there, I just didn't know how I got there, you know? And having that context and ruling out like when my first deployment was, the difference between my reputation and the reality of being a Meriden or Mermadan or a Merriman, Miriden. It's funny how Miriden is so close, yet that's the name of Merlin. Very close to the old name for a Gaelic merchant marine. Why am I being attacked by a back? This bag teamed up with gravity to assault me. How dare you? But anyways. Oh. Yeah, I suppose, like, let me just analyze that to be funny. Neville, what's up, mate? The reason why it's so easy to fall asleep to my voice is not just because of its generic, like, tone, you know, but it's also that feeling of safety that you get from being near your dad. Now, I'm not being hyperbolic, but it is fucking hilarious. It's that feeling of knowing some elder is keeping watch, you know? As long as I can hear them, I know they're awake, and I could fucking sleep like a baby. Oh. Too right. Very good, sir. I will, I will blow a spitball here shortly and see if I can't get it to land on the right face. I've got your name written, actually, you and Conway's name written very proudly on my leadership team list. And let's just say, few people making a fucking business pitch have ever had so many advantages going in that had nothing to do with money. Like, how many people start a business already with fucking, like, people in other countries ready to fucking get the shit on it, you know? That's cool. But, good news on that is the, the company, Dingo, I'm not sure, I think the company that I'm talking to, I think they already do business in Australia. So I might. In fact, I'd be shocked because I know they do business in Ireland. They do business in fucking Japan. I'm almost certain I've seen them in New Zealand. So I'd be shocked if they didn't do business in Australia. Do you know how much easier that fucking makes things? Like the whole land acquisition, everything. if I can arrange this right, you guys are gonna start out with like a consultant contracting type salary through them, and you'll be coordinating with their local offices to set things up. And now I'm going to try to fart silently. Anyways, I have had the fucking, what is it, the Black Eyed Peas, Hey Ya. I've had that shit stuck in my head for 4 days now. Shake it, 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 shake it like a Polaroid picture. Don't want to meet your mama. Just want to make you come up. I'm just being honest. Let's analyze that phrase, shall we? Now, obviously, I empathize with the modern fucking degraded hedonist. But I at least recognize that that's where we've come. You know, and to a certain extent I embrace it because there is a level of maturity that can achieve a sense of humor that appreciates these things while being aware of the damage that they cause. But the whole innuendo is really underappreciated. And that and so many other songs, music forms in general, that 13-year-old kids are allowed to listen to. How old were you when you first heard that song? Don't want to meet your mama. Just want to make you come. I'm just being honest. And by just being honest, I mean I'm just lacking any sort of spiritual wherewithal or ability to comprehend why God's wisdom is wisdom. But you just keep telling yourself you're being honest. You know, just be you, right? Be best or whatever, like Melania says. The whole idea of know thyself and be thyself is bullshit. You, if focusing on yourself and not the greater good and your compassion towards other people and, you know, maybe thankfulness to God once in a while, will not be anything resembling an individual. You'll become an NPC. A series of fucking programmed algorithms put to you there by society. You know, at what point do you empathize with a song that you hear? And at what point do you become the personality that you mock. I'm just being honest. No. No, you're just being a particle pushed around by other particles. You're just a fucking reed swaying in the wind. Well, I was actually using it a bit archaically. Mimicking would be the... But catching, yeah, see. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Boop, 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 boop. Between the formatting of that music video itself, the scalar xylophone, the clapping, and the general repetitive catchiness of it, that song was engineered to brainwash youth. Now, I'm not saying that there was ever anyone who intended that was working on that song. Okay. Individuals were motivated for different reasons. You know, most of them financially oriented. But you don't go far up the ladder before you see the fucking producer whose parents were from Poland. Every time you see one of these fucking people and their corrupt philosophy expressed very poetically through song, we've been led for generations to think that you have to be some sort of insider. It's not about talent, it's about luck. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Those kind of things. But it's actually a little more complex than that. I've seen the difference between the local bands in New Orleans that succeeded and the ones that didn't. Okay? Whether or not you played at Zeppelin's and then got an album was dependent on basically one thing. Did your music channel the demon? Yeah, I mean, I love the song. But I should not have been allowed to hear that song until I was 18 years old. You know? You can't play that song for a 5-year-old without them going, hey, yeah. I mean, you don't even need to learn words to it to sing along. Hey, yeah. Hoya. That's the new thing kids fucking around here do. Hoya. They do that while they dap. Hoya. That is, I tell you what, though, the whole existence of dapping is worthwhile just to be a parent and see the look on your kid's face when you dap at them.
Oh, they hate it. Oh, they hate it. Oh, that's great.
don't want to be your daddy. Just want you in my caddy. I'm just being honest. Right. Yeah, just to say "Hey Ya" by Outkast, and it's like you. But man, that fucking says everything about our generation and why it fucking fell so far from moral character. I'm just being honest. I'm just being myself. Oh, you just got to do what's right for you. You just got to do what makes you happy. As the world slowly kindled into an eruption. We just kept inventing machines. Wonderful technological marvels of creation and ingenuity that could somehow shove our heads further and further up our own asses. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. Now, as a math person, let me just take a different sort of exception to that song. To apologize to someone a trillion times would probably take 137 years. You know how long it takes to actually count to 1,000,000? Holy fuck. I've tried. I've given up every single time. I genuinely tried when I was older. You know, back when I was 34. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. When I was like 8. I tried to just see how high I could fucking count. I counted all damn day. I only got to like 5,000. You gotta like eat and stuff, you know, like you can't just apologize a trillion times. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You can't. I'm like, I wish I could use the calculator. I'm just like, hold on. Let's see. There's 2,400, 218, there's 3, 2,400, 40. Fucking God. 200. 800. Times that. So it would be 52. In a year, there's like 52 million seconds by my quick count just then. So it would take you many, many years to get to 1,000,000,000,000. Many, many. Ooh. $250, isn't it? Isn't it 250, right? 50 million a year? It'd be 250 years? There's 200 million. Right. Anyways. Who here thinks they've actually cried 1,000 tears in this lifetime? That's a lot of fucking tears. To cry that many tears is to experience firsthand just how degraded society really is. And you know, something I haven't talked about for a long time. You know, because I've been married for a long time. And, you know. To Blave. I mean, no. True love. You know, like all the other fucking corruptions. Living through society in this life has made it difficult, even for me. As long as I've wanted to find Maggie, as long as I waited to finally find Kira, I suffered from the same fucking difficulties that every fucking married man alive today suffers from. Because as Ron White said, once you see one woman naked, you want to see them all naked. It can be a 65-year-old, 240-pound biker chick with acne. Do you want to see my titties? Why, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I do. I don't know why, but I do. I'm not that bad, but still, like, I can understand it. I'm bad enough to where I can fucking, you know, I can find that funny, that's for sure. It's like somewhere in the back of my mind, it's like there's a lot of different types of really fine bitch. And I haven't fucked all of them. What sort of weird delusions can I come up with that will one day solve this problem for me? And then the porn does its job and you come to your senses. What? You know, I think it's very easy to get a neurokinetic baseline for like what an EKG readout should look like when someone's gone completely fucking crazy. All you got to do is establish your baseline with a guy with a heart on that hasn't come yet. Because that is pure insanity right there. It's just especially like a guy in their 40s or something. Just nothing but depravity. Or Lacey, yes, or Lacey. Either a guy in their 40s or Lacey. That hasn't come yet. Just pure insanity. But it's like, you know, like a young guy just has like a fantasy about everything he sees. Men aren't like that. Older guys aren't like that. We have more persistent but logical fantasies. You know, we don't just want a blowjob. We want someone to install new tile on our garage floor and then give us a blowjob, you know, like got to watch her grout in her Daisy Dukes, you know. And then, you know, never mind. I'm just being honest. Fuck you. How dare you, Blanket? How dare you? I'm just being honest. Eyes of Libra. Right there. The same exact spirit energy level. That, let me tell you, let me just reiterate. Love the band, love the music. I like Fergie, okay? Like Black Eyed Peas, fucking Outkast, fucking that whole generation of music right there. I even like Eminem, you know? Very, very little respect for, you know, like, but it's still fucking good music, you know? And, you know, like, even though I can separate my issues with the music itself and I don't have a lot of respect for it, you know, not as artistry, not as a message, but it's still like fun, enjoyable, catchy, you know? But I'd still want to fucking smoke a joint with all them guys. You know? I could see past that. I could see the difference between expression and who you are. But at the same time, man, what I meant by repent and start a revival, Marshall, was for people like you to undo the damage that you've done by actually understanding it and helping others to. I want to plan to dominate the world and then a blowjob. Yeah. That's hilarious.
That just reminded me of Mayuri Kuratsuchi on Bleach for some reason. Yes, Nino. Give me a plan to dominate the world, and then a blowjob. I think that's the only Bleach impression I do. I'm just being honest. Yeah. Like I said, I think he was a shadow binge viewer. Eminem, Marshall fucking Mathers himself. I think he was a shadow binge viewer. And I think he wrote a fucking song right when I got on Twitter. I don't know, just to get my attention. And the reason why isn't because of the vague references. It's because of the covering for it at the end. So basically, at the end,
What an interesting video to be talking about this, in which we already discussed this scenario. At the end, he attacks me. The whole bitch I wrote Stan. I walk on water, but I ain't no Jesus. Tell you what, it seemed like I was getting through to him one way or another. Excuse me. Holy shit. But anyways, the thing about that one song, when he came out with the Revival album, right as I was spreading the Revival hashtag on, after, well, several months of me spreading the Revival hashtag on Facebook, and a few weeks after I had myself kind of trolled him a little bit and then had a couple other people do it, sending him to the channel. Yeah. That's when he came out with Walk on Water and the Revival album. So, odd coincidence, maybe? But, there's more than one Big Sean out there. And he just happened to reference one of us. And it makes me want to know more about the other Big Sean. Because how long did he get dismissed for just being angry at his mom? That was a big chunk of my life. And certainly what people would say when I would take my situation as a homeless person excuse me, and expound upon it and speak in lessons and mention the fact that
I do better for fucking strangers than my fucking parents were doing for me. And then there's the whole reference to driving, I think, too fast. Yeah. And again, that's a lot of guys. But not a lot of guys. Named Sean. Who? Again, have a big chunk of their lives getting ignored because they're just. Oh. Maybe they thought I wasn't really talking about society. I was just using it as an excuse to whine. I don't fucking know. Let me be very clear. I worked for my first real employer after, construction and landscaping jobs since the age of 10. Okay, every summer. I worked for my first grocery store for 3.5 years. The last year and a half of which I had my injury. I stayed there working, trying to work back into being able to work. For a year and a half after my spine was fucking snapped. The first time I clocked in after I got hit, I clocked out 46 minutes later. That's all I can fucking take. And half of that was me hanging on a damn pallet, wondering what the fuck I was doing. Now again, the reason why I was made a stock clerk so quickly, and then made head stocker so quickly, and then made several different types of manager before making receiving manager, all within a fucking 2.5 year period, is because when I first started working there as a bagger for $5.15 an hour, I ran after the work. I could bag simultaneously for 3 registers, okay, without, unless it was multiple big orders on all 3 of them, 1 or 2 big orders, and I still wouldn't fucking let a hang-up happen. And you want to talk about precise, categorical bagging, your bread always went right on top of your eggs, okay, like, all your cold shit together, all your detergents together, every type of food together. Like a fucking ninja. And then when it came to getting the carts out of the parking lot, I ran. I was jogging on the clock, making $5.15 an hour, jogging to each fucking buggy, and jogging behind 10, 15 fucking carts at once, pushing them all together. Like I was at war with them, Like I was playing rugby. In kindergarten, when we didn't know how to play rugby. Just pushing and kicking. It took me 3 days to get my mom, the human being whose vagina I came out of. It took me 3 days after being hit by a fucking car to get a ride to get dropped off at Charity Hospital. I had to find my own fucking ride home. But because it was the late 90s and it was long hair, first, they x-rayed the wrong fucking spot on my back. Did not get the bend in the middle. They got my lower lumbar region. And they prescribed me Celebrex, an arthritis medication. Because it was the late 90s and I had long hair. I asked them not to prescribe me any hard narcotics, thinking that would be at least enough to make it clear to them that I was not some fucking junkie looking for a damn fix. But then they took the wrong fucking x-ray. They took one fucking x-ray of my lower back. I should have gotten some sort of neurotranquilizer. Maybe a Darvocet would have been nice. You know, a mild painkiller. Some Tylenol 3s or something like that. Would have been helpful. They gave me fucking Celebrex. I didn't want Vicodins or any weird shit like that. I probably wouldn't have taken very many of them if they gave them to me. Because I've never been a fan of pharmaceuticals. It's just not me. And frankly, I have stomach problems. Like ibuprofen gets me hard up, okay? I'm tentative. But Celebrex? Really? Fucking Celebrex? But you know what I got from my mama after breaking my fucking spine? After working every summer for almost fucking 10 years, after having my own landscaping business, after I presently had my own computer fucking side gig. I had been working at as a manager at PC Innovations on Veterans as the evening manager for a year and a half until it had closed down about 5 months before this. And let me just tell you, just on a side note, one of the things that got me into wanting to have my own business was my experience as the evening manager at PC Innovations, because Mike, the owner, was a moron. And if he could do it, I could do it. I mean, it's just that simple. He went to LSU on a baseball scholarship. Okay? And what done him in wasn't the fact that he was paying $5,500 a month for about 1,400 square feet. It wasn't the fact that there was a ladies' workout spa above us, and the technicians would periodically just all kind of be perched like prairie dogs watching some bitch in yoga pants going up the stairs. Like scary sniff flinch, like fucking. Oh man, I made that joke at the time. Because I just like, I let out a muffled hooty hoo, okay? Which is like the code word for there's a fine bitch, come see, okay? That I brought over with me from the grocery store. I went like, hooty hoo, Because, I mean, there was some serious shit coming. And by the time I, like, was like, guys, I turned around, and they were all, 3 of them, fucking lined up at the door, one above the other, like some fucking prairie dogs. Now, what's funny about this is one of these guys was Gerard, wound up being the founder of Ren and Nerd. What a crew. We had a fucking interesting little crew, man. 4 guys total in the back. Jerome, Gerard, and what's the fucking kid's name? Kevin. And I don't fucking remember the other guy's name. But he was A+ certified. At the time, that was kind of a fucking joke. But I was the one who hired him, so I can't say much. Until he left, and then we had Nathan. Nathan was great. Nathan wound up being like my good friend for a while. So Jerome was like this very countrified black guy from Mississippi who wore plaid shirts buttoned all the way up, had a little bit of a loose curl afro with blonde highlights. I know. He was like a country pothead of some sort. I don't know. Black, but listening to nothing but like Hootie and the Blowfish and shit. Pearl Jam. Nirvana. And he was the only one that was older than me. I was only 17. The other kids are fucking like a year younger than me. One of which is I don't know, him and Jerome and Gerard were like our 2 best techs. But Gerard, of course, he surpassed Jerome after a while and became like the real guru of the store. Taught me half of what I fucking know, you know, about getting in and diagnosing file systems and drivers and shit. Anyways. And then, you see, I knew another kid like this kid named Jimmy. But I know there wasn't fucking Jerome, Gerard, and Jimmy. I'd remembered that shit. But this was like a little skinny white kid who thought he was black. And like, it was a regular thing that we joked about him being blacker than Jerome. Hey baby, what's going on? I am keeping an eye on the time. Well, thank you. My wife is here, checking in. Oi, 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 oi. I got trolled this morning by some moron. Couldn't even make out their fucking picture. I love you too. And that's not what they said. They were like,
something. They said something about Civil War ghosts, blah blah blah, and then Trump is your president without a period at the end. And after, reflecting for a moment on the people who say, like, you're not Jesus without using an apostrophe and an E and having a U in there, like, just, it's not enough. It's not you are with the letter. It's you are. And you're moving an A and adding an apostrophe. And that's how it's you are. You're not. Not. Because otherwise, then it becomes a really incomplete sentence. Because then I'm wondering, what about my not Jesus? I wasn't aware that this was an abstract concept equivalent to a noun. But apparently, this guy would like to say something about it. Proceed. Anyway. Did I see what Trump did to Pelosi today? No, I had kind of a feeling that there was some breaking news earlier, but the broadcast went hokey as soon as I started to try to poke at the machine at the PS3. Let me. Ah. Told her to take a commercial flight to the war zone. Which war zone would that be? Would that be the one that, he's pulling us out of so Russia can take over? Huh. Yep. Who else is ready for President Pelosi? Because this is not a fight Trump can fucking win. Impeachment power belongs solely in her hands right now. Okay? She has two choices: to wait and impeach him with the Mueller indictment, or to simply impeach him based upon the fact that he's an unindicted co-conspirator named in the Southern District of New York's filings. He is already essentially an unconvicted felon, not just unindicted. Because the co-conspirator has been convicted. Hey, yeah. The Atlantic has come out with a case for impeaching Donald Trump article. That's great. Michael Cohen confirms he hired a firm to rig polls in Trump's favor. No. That's awesome. So Trump writes letter to Pelosi, I'm canceling your trip. All right, I'm gonna put on a CNN clip. Hopefully, we won't get too buffered.
I grew up surrounded by people and machines.
Oh, look, I already still have closed captioning on. All right. Where the fuck are the closed captions? I just had closed captions on the commercial. This is what I was talking about. Look at this. No closed caption button at all. It's supposed to, if they don't have closed captions, have a little thing right here between these two for closed captions, and it'll say auto-generated. It has auto-generated captions. If they don't have closed captions, it can sit there and, you know, Google type it for you. That is fucking bullshit. That's just started happening since the other day when I was, or like a couple weeks ago, when I was doing the closed caption thing on here. You know, it'd be funny if Pelosi came back. What trip? But he just went for the fucking first time to go visit the troops during the fucking shutdown. She's been visiting troops in the fucking theater as long as there's been a fucking combat theater. And guess what, little Trumpy? She's flown commercial there many fucking times before. You think, I mean, does anybody think that that's going to give Nancy Pelosi pause? You think she's afraid of fucking riding on a damn airplane? Seriously. What kind of picture do you let people paint for you of Pelosi? Because that's a bad bitch right there. They like to like pretend like she's some kind of clueless California liberal. When, frankly, I know women in Texas who would hang out with her, okay? If it wasn't for the politics, if it wasn't for the predisposition.
Speech on January 29th. This letter right here, saying that he could cancel her upcoming travel plans, is about the closest thing we've come to any kind of official response from the White House to the House Speaker in her letter about the upcoming state.
Or to anything. Since when does he fucking write letters?
What can I tell you?
Did Twitter make a fucking letter exporting thing? Like, can you like print from Twitter now?
You click print on a tweet and then send it.
Nancy Pelosi saying, sorry to inform you, we can't go on X, Y, and Z trip. Doesn't look like is going back. She was saying yesterday, you know, going to postpone your State of the Union, or you can do a Oval Office. Does the president have the authority to cancel her trips? Let's start there.
Well, you know, members of Congress take trips paid for by their appropriations here on Capitol Hill. This is approved through the various committees that are in charge of travel over specific issues. That's how that is doled out. Now, she does fly on a military jet, and what apparently the White House is referring to is that they would try to prevent her from flying on a military jet to these overseas trips. She gets that type of protection as the Speaker of the House, as someone who is in line as succession to the President behind the Vice President of the United States. She is afforded that protection. So
Somebody just kill this fucking asshole already.
to prevent her from flying in that jet overseas on these trips. I don't think it's entirely clear yet from what the White House is suggesting, but that's what they're saying. They're canceling her trip. Is it okay if she flies commercial instead, bro? Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to jump in and say, if we're talking about trips to Brussels, all right, so she's going to Belgium, Egypt, but Afghanistan is on it. When you're talking about flying to Afghanistan, as a member of Congress, as a Speaker of the House, isn't it just unusual to begin with to say ahead of time that you're going to a place like Afghanistan, that the President's now put that out in the public ether?
Right.
Yeah, that's new. That was certainly news up here on Capitol Hill. Not many people were aware of her trips.
That's because, like I've said, Donald Trump is a clear and present danger to the national security of the United States. And should be fucking taken out just like any other terrorist. Or is it not the American tradition to first fire upon the officers?
If the Speaker decides not to accommodate the President at all on January,
We don't fucking obey the old Khazarian rules of combat, okay?
that he delivered in the United States Senate, which is controlled by Republicans. Well, that's not so easy either, because Republicans have to. There are various
Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah.
Senate, some of which require unanimous consent, and a body that's divided between Republicans and Democrats. Hard to see that happening in such a partisan issue. So without precedent for him to do something like
Que sera, sera.
to the United States Senate, you can go back all the way to George Washington's times in the first one of the first inaugurals to be delivered to the United States Senate. So there's hardly any precedent there. So it's uncertain that's going to happen. Where he may deliver such a dress if he does decide to do it on January 29th. The Pelosi's are not allowed to do it. Now, I just talked to Mark Meadows, who's one of the president's closest allies. He says he thinks the president will deliver this somewhere else. So what does that mean in the White House? That's still unclear, but
Madison Square Garden.
told me today, Brooke, that she has not heard
Get her done.
formal response or any response from the White House from a letter from yesterday morning asking for delay in the State of the Union. So this is the first official response to try to say that they were going to take a step to prevent
I hope
from traveling overseas.
that wherever Trump makes his little speech,
This is a response to the Speaker trying to push
he is
the State of the Union saying, well, you may not
pelted to death
see how the Speaker responds.
by eggs that were undeliverable due to lack of health and safety inspection because of the fucking shutdown. I'm talking a lot of fucking eggs here. A lot of eggs. A lot of eggs.
Lonnie, I'll let you grab some more reactions. Thank you so much for jumping up with us on this breaking story. Gloria Boardroom, let me get your perspective. And I'm still kind of back on, Jim Acosta referring to Washington as a playground. And then the only phrase that comes to mind is nanny, nanny, boo boo.
Right, sandbox.
Nanny, nanny, boo boo.
The wording in this is incredible to me, because it is this kind of dumb tit for tat thing, but he calls, first of all, I'm not sure he can postpone the trip, but let's just leave that aside.
Yeah.
In light of the 800,000 Great American Workers Conference in the UK, I'm sure you would agree that postponing this public relations event
public relations?
Public relations event. But most of the members of Congress, in fact, all of the members of Congress that I know who go to places like Afghanistan,
Right.
and it's not announced publicly. These sometimes we never find out about it. They can talk about it when they get back. But they go to places like Afghanistan because they want on-the-ground information
Gloria
about
Berger,
what is
CNN.
exactly going on there. You learn things on these congressional delegations, and it is important that members of Congress see what they are voting on.
And
Of course, of course.
and
and
it's about morale for the fucking troops as well. Okay? You know, like, in some ways, take it easy, Neville. In some ways, you'd rather see a stand-up comedian or something like that. But in some ways, it's more reassuring over the long term to see those fucking people who are involved in the appropriations process come and see shit for themselves. You know? They don't have to. And seeing a politician do something that they don't have to do, and like they'll be out there 99.999% of the time with no fucking cameras on them. That is a morale boost for the troops.
then he called it an excursion. Okay, this is not
To a
an
war zone.
to a war zone. Right. This is not an excursion to the beach. Okay, this
Right.
is a congressional delegation, I presume, to a war zone and other places along the way. But he was making, the president seemed to be making light of any
Right.
kind of trip that
They want to hear what's going on.
like Afghanistan, which is an important place for the Speaker of the House to visit. Now, I don't know what the timing of her trip was supposed to be, because we're not told the timing when members of Congress go to war zones, go to places like Afghanistan. Just like when the president went to Iraq. We were not told in advance about his trip to Iraq. You don't announce these things. So this seems silly to me, honestly, and the real world out there looking at this will go, come on, kids, time for a nap.
Oh, you know what? You know what? Even better than her saying what trip and like acting like he's like just making it up and forcing him to like re-argue. She could say, too late. Just to watch him twitch. Just to watch him squirm. Thanks for trying, but we just got back and I thoroughly enjoyed our visit. Or like, that was 2 weeks ago. We didn't tell you because you're a security risk. Just to do what he does. Just to control the conversation and force him to respond to nonsense, you know? That'd be so great. Oh. But knowing Nancy, she's gonna have something even smarter up her sleeve. Fuck. Trump thinks he's fucking around. Him thinking he's gonna get one over on Pelosi is it's just adorable. That's all it really is. Speaking of the whole attack your friend strategy, for once, a top stories thing has come out. And it's not something that helps Trump. Although I almost got ahead of myself. And said that there were things here about FBI thwarts possible attack on the White House. But anyways, these top story things that come up whenever there's like a new talking points memo in the news, right? I'll have a top stories on my scroll. And it'll, every time there's like a big thing that Trump wants you to pay attention to, that's it. Now here I have Pelosi postponing the State of the Union. Cohen paid thousands to rig polls in Trump's favor. But then you don't have to go far, and there's an RT still recommending top stories from RT. The guy had rocket launchers and everything. Bless his heart. Look, man, all I'm going to say is this. Do it cleanly and don't damage any actual government property. That would be wrong. But, you know, still. I got to admire the sentiment. You know, he was taking it from a job worth doing is worth doing right perspective. No, but see, the real reason to be patient with all this and to just let out your steam. Just be like, just get over it. Just get over it. It's okay. It's okay to want a traitor dead. It's okay. Don't go planning shit out. Be patient. Because the investigation is basically a series of Trump and his associates leading us right to our real enemies in the world. I didn't mean to say that so clearly. I think even my Russian trolls might actually understand it now. Maybe not. They'll probably still find a way to deny it and rationalize and take solace in their own superiority. But yeah, that's why I can just simultaneously be impatient as hell and just totally fine with just waiting on the sidelines. Right. But the funny part is, the more other people squirm trying to defend him and the situation, the more they wind up doing things that give probable cause to their history in all of this being looked into. But like, you know, I think it says a lot that we had 11 Republicans, including Kennedy of Louisiana, because, you know, his staff doesn't want me to go in there and just start throwing hot coffee on their faces and shit. Senator Kennedy of Louisiana has... Petey! Senator Kennedy of Louisiana voted for the overturning of sanctions. I mean, for the overturning of sanctions relief. Excuse me. It's like a triple negative or some bullshit. But the rest of the Republicans 48, 49 other fucking Republicans or more? No. 38, 39 Republicans. 39, 40 Republicans, I think, total. I wonder how Bernie voted. Huh. When it comes down to it, he usually does the right thing about half the time when it comes to Russia. Yeah, I understand that. That was... Oh, he didn't show up. Yeah, that's what he does more often than not, isn't it? When it comes to a Russia vote, he just doesn't show up. But think about it. 40 Republicans out of 53. Isn't it 53 or 52? Something like that. They got the majority. Voted to lift sanctions. After this weird little arrangement that funneled liability away from Oleg Deripaska without actually funneling his control or profit share in these aluminum companies. Anyways, I got to go pick up a kid. So I'll catch y'all later on tonight, and we will talk about the breaking news of the day, because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more. So y'all take it out. Y'all take it easy. Don't take it all. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to click the like button. Make sure you're subscribed and all that good jazz. Peace.